Hello all, welcome to TipTop C# tutorial series. This is part 4 of events and delegates. I will add reference to the previous videos in the description below. Let's have a look at today's agenda. First we'll look at what is event and how to implement an event. We'll have some hands-on for the same and then some tips and tricks to remember. The prerequisite of this session are delegates and classes. You need to understand delegates and classes first, then it would be easy for you to understand events. Events enable a class or object to notify other class or objects when something interesting occurs. The class that needs the event or the class that sends an event is called as publisher and the class that receives the event is called as subscriber. This is what is definition according to MSDN. Events and delegate combined address publisher and subscriber design pattern. If you have done any simple UI projects in C# or sample projects in Windows Forms or WPF, you could have observed few events such as button click or mouse down or list block selects. These are the built-in events. In the same way, we will try to implement our own events and let's see how to handle them. We go through each step one by one. Let's switch to Visual Studio. I have already created project for ease of recording. Let's create another class. Let it be as game class. The syntax for event creation is like this. You have to specify the access specifier, then event handler, and then game ends event. And let's create another event, that is event handler, where I want to pass integer as the method. So this is how you define an event. You can observe carefully. There are two event handlers. First is one without any parameters, and the second one uses generic one where you are telling that where you are specifying that you want to pass integer as the parameter. This by default will have event args, that is event handler, event. This the game ends event and game ends dummy event both are same, because by default it considers event args as the parameter. If you're if you want, you can specify anything as int, string, or a custom class. Will be We'll make another video how to create and custom event arguments and how to handle it. The first one is when you don't want to pass any argument whenever you are raising an event. The second type is whenever you want to raise an event and also pass integer as a variable. So we are done with the creation of the event. This is what just as initialization of the event. So the second step is a client has to subscribe for the event. Let's see how a client can subscribe. Let's create an object. The subscription is simple. If you remember events and delegates, so imagine I want to subscribe for game started event, then event handler. So now you can see that along with the sender, I'm getting integer as the object because here I'm specifying it as an integer. Let's create an handler for game ends. can see that the argument type is event args. As as I have mentioned already, event handler like this or with event args, both are the same. Now the game is publisher, where it wants to create an event and also publish. Here main program becomes the subscriber, where it subscribes for the events of the game. Now you are done with two things. So let's have something. Console.writeLine. Game ends. Next one can be game as started. So now the connection between publisher class and subscriber class has been established. Whenever a publisher wants to inform all the subscriber, it's simple now. Just need to raise event. Let's see how to raise an event. This is responsibility of publisher to raise the event. Let's have something called as private raise game started event. First step that we need to do is we have to check whether game started event is not equals to null, because because in case of in case of no subscribers, the game started event will be null. So if you once pass this if, then it indicates that there are some subscribers, then you can raise the event. Raising of the event is simple. Game started event, and then you have to just pass sender, that is this, and then whatever you want to pass, like it may be time or it may be level that you want to specify. So now we have covered three steps. First is creation of the event, and the clients will subscribe for the event using plus and having an handler. And the third one is raising of the event. In the same way, the fourth step is unsubscribe for the event. After some time, if you feel like you are no longer interested in game started event, then you can unsubscribe for event using game start. This is how you can unsubscribe for the game started event. Imagine you have at some point of time you are interested in some event, and then you already got a notification, or at certain point of time you are no longer interested, then you can unsubscribe for a specific event using like this. .NET behaves here in a matured way, where if you have not already subscribed for the event like this, and but you are still trying to unsubscribe for the event, then .NET will not throw exception. This is mainly handled by Delegate. If you have already gone through any of the previous videos, then you can understand that this all is part of Delegate. So Delegate manages all these things about callback. At the end, this is a callback where a publisher is informing the subscriber that my callback should be called as soon as this event is occurred. Let's switch back to PPT again. Creating an event. As you already seen, we have created these two type of event. One is without any argument, where event args is a by default event argument, and second one is with integer. So the responsibility of publisher has to create an event. Publisher determines when an event is raised, which we have already shown. Event handler is exactly equals to event handler with event arguments. event argument is another dedicated class. We will see how to create custom event argument class in the next one. Moving on. The next one is subscribing for an event. As we have already shown in hands-on, this is how you subscribe for the event, plus and equals, and you will write a event handler for the same. You're writing it thanks welcome again, where this event handler will be printed as soon as the event occurs or event is raised from the publisher. Subscriber has to subscribe for events. The subscriber determines what action is taken in response to the event. An event can have multiple subscribers. How to raise an event? So first you have to check that the event is not null. If event is null, it indicates that there are no subscribers, so there is no point in raising the event. If it is not equals to null, it indicates that there are some subscribers and you need to inform them. Raising of event is simple enough. If event has no subscriber, it will never be raised. If an event has multiple subscriber, the event handlers are invoked synchronously when an event is raised. How synchronous and asynchronous things are handled within Delegate is already shown in the previous video. So the next one is unsubscribing. Unsubscribing of any of the event handler is simple. You have to just specify minus equals and then it automatically is removed from the invocation list. Unsubscribing without subscribing will not throw any error. So these are the 4 steps that are important for creating of the event, or these 4 steps cover complete subscription, unsubscription, creation and raising of the event. So the relationship through diagram is like this. First, the green one is publisher where it creates an event, and the orangish box is subscriber where it subscribed for the event. Then the publisher will raise the event. First, the first subscriber will get the event. Then if there are multiple subscribers, they will get the event in the synchronous manner. Some tips and tricks to remember. Event is a wrapper around delegate. Delegate does everything required for the event. Event implements publisher and subscriber pattern. This is very important. Before before events and delegates were implemented in C#.NET, everybody were implementing a pattern called as publisher and subscriber. Events and delegates combinedly address this publisher and subscriber pattern. Events are triggered synchronously. This should cover basics of the event, how to raise an event, and also a few insight of the event. We'll try to come up with another video where we talk about internals of the events and custom event arguments as well. Thank you. Let us know if we have missed out anything. Have a nice day.